All right, here we go. Nathan Davies, welcome to the studio. Welcome to the podcast. And I know you're a Liverpool regular, but welcome to Liverpool anyway.
Thank you. It's a pleasure, an absolute pleasure to be here. And thank you, Jack.
That's all right.
Invite me here.
So you're an agile transformation lead.
Yeah.
30-year veteran in change management.
That is correct.
As an accomplished and solutions-driven change and agile transformation leader, you have consistently demonstrated your ability to deliver complex and high-risk projects. That's ripped off your LinkedIn, mate.
Yeah, I was going to say straight off the bat.
Yeah, no point messing about. I know you were keen to talk about. I'm just going to get straight into it, but we'll cover everything that we can. You collared me yesterday and said AI, and you asked a question during the event about AI yesterday.
I did indeed.
So what's on your mind, mate? Not that I've got any answers, but I want to know what's on your mind.
The world. We have to respect and accept the world is changing. And as agilists, while we profess agility, we also have to be agile ourselves in terms of understanding how agile is going to change the nature of the Scrum Master, the agile coach, in terms of the role that we play, fundamentally the money that we earn from that role. Yeah. Okay, we've all got to keep a roof over our head and put food on the table, the basics.
Absolutely.
So what concerns me, nothing concerns me other than losing jobs, but that's on everybody's mind, right? But it's taking advantage of the tools that are available. And we've got a lot of the lower level stuff that a Scrum Master or delivery lead may want to employ with a team would be taken care of by AI. They would look at whatever delivery system that they use and say, here's the metrics and this is what we advise. Yeah. Okay. Low level stuff, what a Scrum Master can and should do. The challenges though, the biggest challenge is whilst GPT is very generalized, it'll take the Scrum Guide and spit it right back at you. Yeah. Much as I loathe the Scrum Guide. We'll come on to that in a bit. What it doesn't have is the development teams or the firm's data that it can make informed decisions about. It's expensive to have your own LLM. Yeah. And this, for now, is where Scrum Masters and Agilists, this is where they can play. They can look at their own data. As long as it doesn't go out into the ether, they can look at their own data and say, this is what we can do for now. So make the most of it. Yeah.
And what does that look like practically, do you think? If you're a delivery professional, I'll just use that umbrella term.
Yeah. So what
you're putting in there, I suppose.
So what we're looking at for most firms is let's see where we can take advantage of AI. Now, we can boilerplate a lot of the user stories. We can do that, but it's boilerplate. Yeah. What would be fantastic if we can take an idea, break it down, and off the back of that breakdown, be great to break it down straight from the head, but we're not quite there yet. Would be to write a feature, right? But not only write a feature, but actually break it down into the user stories, have it estimated, dare I say it, code it based on what the firm's own coding style processes are. So the vision that I have is to create software or create a solution. Let's call it that. Call it a solution in minutes, not months. That's the challenge, right? That's the vision that we want to get. And minutes is not 3. Yeah. It's probably about 360. Right. But that's the vision, right? And that it's achievable, but it's all about aligning your local GPT that the company owns and not in the ether, because you don't want your IP escaping.
And what are your thoughts on things like Lovable, like you mentioned there, getting like idea to reality? And have you tinkered with them? Have you got any thoughts on that side of the?
I haven't, not with. Fence? Is Lovable? Do you know what? I haven't looked at Lovable. To be fair, is the Lovable in terms of is it an online tool? Is it?
So like you type in a prompt and it'll come up with a web app essentially. So you can put anything.
It's a bit like as in no code. Yeah. Yes, it's a no code solution.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on no code solutions?
Highly effective. right? So I work with a firm. He's a good friend of mine in Birmingham, and he's a founder, and he is very much a proponent of no code or low code solutions, and he's great because he asked me in to say how does low code and no code we're going to change the Agile Manifesto, and I go, no, it won't. It's already there. It's just supporting what Agile is all about, which is delivering valuable solutions fast to test whether your product works with the customer, because that's all you're doing. You're taking a bet and you're proving that the bet works. Yeah. So that's what we're doing. So that's where Lovable comes in and whatever.
Are you using them in? Are the engineers been let off the reins in your current organisation with tools like that?
No, we there are like any large organisation, we would always look at what tools are around. But the nature of the business that I work for is not quite there. There needs a lot more sophistication in terms of how the code should operate. There isn't so much off the shelf. It's very much bespoke because we need to be for our clients.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So, client-facing organisation, how do you balance agility, agile ways of working, whatever terminology you choose to use with, I'm a client and I want it now.
That's it, right? As with any firm with high-value clients, we bend over backwards for them. And it's bending over backwards in the right way and managing their expectations against what we are capable of delivering of. But at the end of the day, customer wins. And so it's my job and my team's job to coach all levels of the organisation to say, if you do this in this certain way, habitually, with discipline, but without being dogmatic, and that's the thing, it's not being dogmatic that we can get wins in the short to medium term and eventually the long term. But as we just discussed with AI, that long-term view maybe isn't 5 years away, it's 18 months. So that's what we've got to balance up. So we need to be on point in terms of my team. So I have a team of 18 Scrum Masters, coaches. There's a lot of management in there.
Just reminded me about something to ask there.
Yeah. And their job is to help teams deliver that value quickly.
From a leadership point of view, because I've seen some of your activity, it's a globally distributed team that you have, by the looks of it.
Yeah.
From a leadership point of view, again, for the benefit of the people watching, listening, how do you do that? Because I know you've got people in, like, I'm not going to go into the countries, but you're in the UK, and when I say globally distributed, they are globally distributed.
Yeah. So
how do you balance that?
So up until June this year, I had members of my team in all 6 populated continents on this planet, from Sydney through to Chicago, and multiple time zones in between. I would say managing that team, stroke of luck. The gentleman who's out in Sydney got personal circumstances. He works late at night, so he lines up with the rest of the world. Time zone management, as with any global firm working with any global team, is up there when it comes to challenges. So there's the usual, as you and Jones was talking about yesterday, one of his biggest problems that he had in his keynote speech, he said, was learning how to deal with people. So I have to learn to deal with people in multiple time zones and getting them all together, getting them to work with multiple teams.
And how do you do that?
Good planning. Good planning, working with, finding the sweet spot in terms of a meeting point every Monday, 3:00 UK time. It seems to be okay. Some people can't make it, some people can. Sometimes we do split. So working in the UK actually works out quite well. So I can do mornings, so for covering everybody in APAC, and I can do early evening UK time to cover people in Europe and the Americas as well. It's tying things up together and being consistent.
Yeah, it must be hard though.
Yeah, but it's hard. It's sometimes you have to do double the planning sessions to make sure it's consistent. But it's not unusual. My leadership team do exactly the same. They do APAC specific. They do Americas specific, and Europe right in the middle of the time zones. It works either way.
In terms of when you're recruiting for delivery people,
yes.
Again, I don't really care what you call them, but Scrum Masters, Delivery Managers, Project Managers, Kanban Wizards, whatever flavour. I think it's in, what do you look for? Because
I'm recruiting, Jack. I can't tell them too much.
Okay, if you were,
but I tell you what, I can tell people. I'll tell people what we face up and challenged with.
okay.
Right?
What don't you look for, or what are you challenging at the moment? When you see someone, what's a reoccurring theme on CVs at the moment? You go, oh, come on.
I look for what I don't want are theorists.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Now I will spout theory. Okay, but I also got the background to say I've delivered as well, so I'm entitled to do that. But I don't want theorists. What we do, we'll go into it to a certain amount because there's a certain part of all of this that I don't want to give too much of away.
We can. You don't have to answer any of it, mate.
That's fine. No, it's good. It's good because it's something that I'm quite proud of. So this role is the first role that I've actually hired remotely.
Okay.
Most previously, it's get people into the office face to face, have a chat, talk through their achievements, talk through what we're looking for. Is this the place that you're looking for? Which is, when it comes to recruitment, they're interviewing us as I'm interviewing them. So we put them through. So it's all tends to be now mostly remote. We've adjusted our processes. We've gone through all of this. So first round interview, usually remote. Depends on where you are. You may come in for an interview. Second round, that's where we check you out. Some basic questions about being a Scrum Master, being a delivery lead, talk us through what you've done before with one of my directs. And then if they cut it, and then they get through to the second round. Now, the second round is as a result of my first foray into remote interviewing. And
has that been a learning curve for you? As someone with that much,
huge amount. So you get all the CVs, and I get dazzled with CVs with, I've had 10 pages of, these are all the certs that I've done. I'm SAFe certified. I've got Scrum Alliance certifications, like reams and reams of paper. Okay, slight exaggeration.
So this is going to take a bit of it, because I'm interested, and hopefully this takes you out of the firing line a bit. Hiring globally, you've obviously got certain things that you're looking for, but I've just realised now, I imagine a CV from each country looks different as well. Like what they see as in Britain, broadly, before anyone comes at me, it's 2 pages, summary, key skills, achievements, job list, blah, 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 highlights, done. Yeah. I imagine that it's different all around the world.
Oh, it's amazing. It differs. I mean, Australia, India, South African.
And culturally as well.
Yeah, culturally. So in India and Latin America, and all of Latin America I've looked at, interview people, Colombia to Argentina to now predominantly in Mexico. So in India, they will tell you everything, and I mean everything about themselves, including down to their national ID, sort code, and bank account number. And you have quiet words with them to say, please remove that.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't want that.
You're creating a job for me, mate.
And you get some say, some recruitment agency says I need to have it. I say, well, those are lying to you.
Yes.
Right. So remove them. You go to Latin America and you get pictures and you get all the different profiles. You get wonderful profiles down the left-hand side. And so so one thing I don't do, I don't put it through any AI tool.
Okay.
I don't put them through any AI tool. There is some sort of sift that we have with our HR system that they'll probably do, but there is no profile. There is some certain keywords, but it's very loose, right, that we look for. Or keywords that we look for, but we don't exclude, shall we say. But most of the time we do a lot of the groundwork ourselves. But sometimes the CVs just don't match up to the person.
Yeah.
The first lot of interviews I did online, we get all sorts of people coming in and we ask them questions about Agile, being a Scrum Master, and we get people reading the Agile Manifesto to me. You can see them reading, or the Agile principles, or they get stuck and they do Google search or whatever tool they were using then. We thought, right, that's it. I've had enough.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So the approach, so I went back to what I did when I was working at Egg. So when it was Egg, not only was a development manager, we also set up an academy. So we were looking to find resources internally. So rather than going to the external market, we were looking to our contact center, which is literally across the car park, to see if we can get some developers or testers or BAs to do that. So we set up an academy. And the HR team came up and said, right, this is what we'll do. We'll get everybody in and we'll do a number of days just to prove themselves. Yeah. This is what we can do. And I went, so I remember that and I go, right, what we need to simulate being a Scrum Master. And that's what we've created. So round 2, if you're fortunate enough to get through to work for me, and this is something that's not only for my team, but we also pumping it across other parts of the organisation as well. So we offer this to other parts of the organisation, mainly because if we want to make sure that we've got a certain level of standard as they come in. And so everyone goes through the simulator. So the only person who hasn't gone through the simulator is me. Also, all of my team have gone through it. Everyone has to go through it, whether they're internal or external.
How come you haven't been through it?
I dare not.
I had to ask. If I didn't ask that, someone would have gone, why didn't you ask him why he hasn't been through it?
I dare not. I would. I don't know if my team would actually be scared to do it or not. But we set things up. Everything's done in a particular type of way. Yeah. Right. So we've watched enough, in the military, in terms of when we're training people, when we're testing people, we go slightly over the top to make people uncomfortable. Yeah. Right. Well, that's what we do with this. Right. Because it's a good way. We don't want to find out. Specifically, we set this up for contractors. We didn't want to throw money away on contractors who couldn't deal with the day-to-day life of working with these companies. Yeah. And so I get a team in. People say it's expensive. I say it saves us money in the long run. We save ourselves 4 weeks worth. Is it infallible? No.
Fair enough.
But that's because it never spotted that kind of stuff.
So I think this is where there's been loads in this already, but take yourself out of your current organisation. Mm-hmm. If you were giving advice to aspiring delivery folk, you've already said don't be too theoretical. Are there one or two other things maybe that people could take from this if they're on their on their journey?
Absolutely. It's working with people. You need to be totally comfortable working with people and being able to get the best out of other people as well. Yeah. So it's the facilitator. The facilitator role is probably the facilitator role and its skills.
I'm laughing. This is the third time we've just done back. You're the third person who's highlighted facilitation as the main skill today.
Right. There's a theme running here.
Theme.
Well, everything else is going to be. I joked when I first started, when I started my role doing this about 3 years ago. I said they haven't automated us yet. Right, we're at that point. Yeah. So the facilitator role is the thing, and when I say facilitator, it's reading the room, it's getting the best out of people, it's getting into the psychological side of things. But it's also working out what can't be automated. So there's the facilitation part, but there's also, I suppose this comes under this as well. So I'm not the expert at this, but it's also getting people together to come up with that shared solution. Whether it's the agreed solution, it's a finer point, right? But it's a shared solution, and that's where I'm driven to. So what the epiphany that I've had over the past couple of years is most of the problems in agile delivery with delivery teams is not sprints themselves. It's not daily stand-ups. It's actually the stuff that you do, the preparation beforehand.
Yeah.
And I've now, my go-to book, the two go-to books are Jeff Patton's User Story Mapping. User Story Mapping.
Yeah.
And Ken Beck's Extreme Programming Explained. Second edition. It's got to be the second edition. Don't like the Scrum manuals, Scrum guides, don't like SAFe. Too bloatware. That's far too much bloatware. But the epiphany is reading Jeff Patton and explaining this is what you need to do to kick everything off.
Yeah.
The ideation, so it's all about whether your idea is usable, it's feasible, and of value. All those 3 points together, there you go, right? You got your answer, right? Put it all, map it all out into your activities, break it all down. You've got your core thing. Now that's what somebody aspiring to today, that's what they should focus on first. It's teeing up the team for delivery and using the facilitation skills to do it.
I like that, mate. What's next for you personally?
Personally?
Or professionally? That doesn't have to go too deep.
Personally, I want to is growing my team. So my team is, I'm still recruiting. I'm going to be recruiting all the way through next year. I like to expand beyond my current team. So the organization I work for, it's an enterprise within an enterprise within an enterprise. It's huge. And I want to go beyond the first level enterprise into the next level enterprise. And we're currently doing that to a very much large degree. But using my same way of working. So my way of working is, so as a Scrum delivery manager, let's go with that, is, as anybody would know who works in Agile, is to make themselves redundant. That's the aim, but that's how I'm going to scale. Yeah. So we're going to look at getting a team to self-managing level, so a predetermined self-managing level for a period of time, probably 6 months, and then I will move them into another team and recycle. And the analogy that I have is we treat a team like they're building a space station. We get them orbiting around the Earth, let them go. And then as soon as we see a degradation in their orbit height, I send one of my team back in.
See what's going on.
Get their habits back in check. And it won't be like an 18-month assignment. It may be a 3-month or a 6-month assignment just to get them reinvigorated and go again. Because there are lots of teams. But whilst there's a number of visions, so we've got the vision with AI, my vision for my own team is anything new that is occurring within the firm, they come to my team first and say, who have you got to actually lead this? Yeah. Who can pull a team together to deliver something very quickly for one of our clients?
Yeah.
That for me is great.
Love that, mate. Where can people reach out if you would like them to? You're looking at that camera there.
Yeah. So if you want to find me, my name's Nathan Davies. I work for a very large American asset manager, currently hiring. So reach out to come and find me, follow me, connect to me on LinkedIn, message me, always open for a conversation. And we can have a chat and see where you can fit in. Don't be too disappointed if you don't, but always happy to speak to any Agilist on this planet.
Cool. And if you like this conversation, there'll be another one. Nope. Always do that around there with another interesting person. And yeah, Thank you, mate.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.